Hi everybody, I'd like to introduce you to Miss Miggles. Midnight. Yes, she's such a good girl. So yeah, Midnight's nicknames are Miggles and Mamacita. She is Dawn and Dusky's mom. She had Dawn and Dusky with Casper. She is a Newfoundland kitty. She's going to be 13 in April. And she's so sweet and lovely and cuddly. Very tiny though, look. She looks big because of her fluff, but if she was not fluffy, oh my goodness. She only weighs just over 5 pounds. She needs to gain weight. So yeah, like I said, she has 2 daughters, Dawn and Dusky, and you'll meet them in their videos. And then yeah, so she had Dawn and Dusky with Casper, and you might say, well, why didn't you get her fixed? Well, the thing is, she is born in April, and Casper is born in October of the same year, of 2002. So I got them both as very, very young kittens, and right before we got Casper, we tried to get Midnight fixed, and she was too overweight and she was too young. And then Casper went into heat early, so before I could get one of them fixed, they got to each other. So my husband and I said, well, however, it's our responsibility. These are like our children. So however many kitties they have, we will have to take responsibility for and either find them new homes or keep them ourselves. And excuse me. So Midnight had 3 kittens, but one was stillborn. So the 2 that were born that survived are Dawn and Dusky. And we couldn't give them up, being only 2, right? Like if she would have had a litter of 10, well, that might be a lot, but like 6 or 7, like that would have been a lot of cats to keep. Though we do have 7 cats now. But 2 was just fine for us to keep. What's wrong? So the first thing we're going to talk about is her super paw. And so about 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, Twilight, who is only going to be 8 this year, so she was only 3 or 4 when this happened. And so Twilight was trying to fight Midnight for dominance. And Twilight is significantly bigger than Midnight. In fact, as a kitten, she quite quickly outgrew Midnight. So they were fighting for dominance because although Midnight size-wise, demeanor-wise would not be dominant to her daughters, that's just how it works. Dusky and Dawn didn't fight her for dominance because they knew she was mom, so mom is dominant. But Twilight came in, and as she got older, wanted to fight for dominance, and one day when we were at work, Twilight attacked her and ripped off her toe. I know, Miggles. I know you don't like talking about this, do you, baby? See how her paw is white? Well, she's missing a toe. So my husband came home from work, found bloody paw prints everywhere, found her, pulled blood, took her to the doctor. And we went to the normal vet that we have here, up here, and oh baby, it's okay. And our vet had moved away, so we saw the replacement vet. Worst mistake of our lives. So they said, oh, we're gonna finish removing the toe, and so they did that. They did surgery, and then they wrapped her foot, and it was all bandaged and everything good. And like 2-3 weeks later, we had to go back to have the stitches taken out. So the stitches came out, but it still was raw, and like her skin was very thin. And so they took the bandage off, and when I said, are you going to put another bandage on, when they took the stitches out, they're like, oh no, she doesn't need that. So I reluctantly brought her home, and within a couple of days, all the bottom of her paw here, oh baby, don't cry, don't make noises, I know, was all covered in litter. And so we called the vet, and they're like, oh, soak her paw and the litter will just fall off. So I did that, and literally the pad of her paw came off with the litter. Blood everywhere. It was disgusting. I was freaking out. Thought I had, like, killed her. So we got it all wrapped up. We managed to find a different vet who's now our regular vet clinic. Who's like, nope, bring her in. So we took her in, and this doctor said, why in the world would they not have wrapped it? Who knows? Then, when they were examining it after they cleaned it all and got the infection and stuff out that it started, they found that the claw that needed to come out, the claw was gone, but the toe was still there. So it was sticking out through her stitches. So they had to reoperate, and then she ended up with a cast on, or like a soft cast, the wrappy cast that they do for animals, for about 2 months. And as a result, she now has what we refer to as the super paw. You like your super paw? Super paw. And so that was the first tragedy that this poor little girl went through. So the reason why it's and she kind of doesn't like touching it or whatever, is it's literally just bone. The ligament's gone, the muscle's gone. It was all ate away by the infection and has not come back in 4.5 years. I know, it's horrible, isn't it, Miggles? Yes, it is. So then, shortly after that, we started finding pee on the floor with blood in it. And we tracked that back to Miss Midnight. And we had to take her back to the doctor. Found out she has crystals in her bladder, which they think were caused by stress. They think she might have always had the startings of it, because she always used to pee in the car. She doesn't. It's very funny, since she's been diagnosed, she doesn't pee in the car anymore. But because of that, she, when we're asleep, midnight, I know, baby. When we're asleep, or when we're not home, when we're at work, she has to be in my office. That's her room. She has her own litter box, and she has her own food, which is this food. Can we show the food? This food. This is Medi-Cal Urinary SO. And she gets that free fed in her room, so that that medication controls the crystals. The other thing, every other night, and I forgot to leave it out, she gets kitten food, wet food, so that to try to help her gain some weight, because the poor thing now needs to get surgery for something else. Now, about, I want to say, when did we take you to the doctor? November? So probably October, we were petting her, and I felt a lump. Oh, great. So I went back to the doctor, and the doctor said it's just below the surface. She has still a good appetite, still good activity, going to the bathroom. Keep an eye on it, and if it gets bigger, we'll do a biopsy. Because they said it was too small to do a needle biopsy. They might not, if it is something, they may not get enough cells. So we've waited, and then a couple weeks ago we called because it's getting much bigger, and they said, how much bigger? And we said it's at least double. She still doesn't have any other symptoms, so we're actually going to get the surgery. They're just going to go in and cut it out. They're just going to put her to sleep. They didn't want to put her to sleep. They don't have to put her to sleep to do a needle biopsy. They do it with us there, and so for most cats, keeping them calm, the mom and dad being there will keep them calm. But they're just going to go in and cut it out so they can take the whole mass and have it tested to see if it is anything. But it's not going to be anything, right, Miggles? It's possible that it's just a fat deposit, but because she's so tiny, they find it would be kind of weird for her to have a fat deposit. Like if Sam, who's like 25 pounds, had a fat deposit below his skin, that would make more sense because he has fat, but she doesn't really have fat, so that's a little concerning. But hopefully it's just going to be some fiber tissue, like some tissue fibers, or something that you don't need any more intervention, but at least we'll know if she needs more intervention, and we can do that because she's completely healthy otherwise. So that's midnight. I'll keep you guys up to date on her as her belly surgery or side surgery, it kind of floats, unfolds. So I'll let you know how she's doing. And yeah, so that's midnight. So I'll keep you guys up to date as things happen. You're going to say bye? Bye bye. You can't really see me because Mommy's sweater's black. Bye guys. Have a good day.